but I believe that Residence Life has joined us. So if you're going to stay on for that session, they're going to go ahead and take over and get started. So you guys can take it away. It was great seeing everyone.
Bye, guys.
I'll be on for a little more.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Bree Condis. I am the Residence Life Coordinator at Central Penn College. I am a full-time staff member. So usually when you guys move in, I'm one of the first people that you see, along with Kelly Fox and Lindsey Garber, who is the Director of Student Housing and Residence Life, and then our student RAs. So our housing, as hopefully most of you see on our website, we do have suite style housing. So that means that we have 7 rooms in one unit. So you can be paired up with up to 6 other people, depending on your housing application and how your interests co-align with some other people. Personally, I oversee the student RA program. So each house is assigned a student RA. They can be a live-in or they can be overseeing. And the RAs are there to make sure that, you know, if you have any questions about academics or personal things, that they can provide you the directions to the right resources to help you out with that. Along with RAs, I oversee themed housing. It's also known as a living learning community. So for any of you who have special interests, if you and a group of some other students have a common interest, you can always apply to do a living learning community, a themed house. So that way you guys can live together. And we also do events on campus. So the RAs, themed houses, they plan according to your feedback. So they try to get to know you at the beginning of the term. And then they create events for you based on what you guys want to see on campus. And they try to do different times and according to seasons. That way it's applicable. So if it's nice outside, they'll do something outside. If it's cold out, they'll have something in the ATEC. So they try to really tailor it to what you would like to see. Also in the chat, we have our Residence Hall Coordinator, Christiana. So Brian, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you do?
Hello, everyone. My name is Christiana. I actually just graduated from Central Penn College back in March. So it's great to be with you. I was just recently hired by the Office of Residence Life to be the Residence Hall Coordinator. And I help oversee the outside partnerships in my role, like outside Hatch students, Milton Hershey, and so forth. I am also I am a co-advisor for the Activities Advisory Board. Our club, we do a lot of different things. We bring comedians on campus, we host movie nights, game nights, and so forth. So if you're interested in different things on campus and activities, please bring that forward, and we'd like to bring it to campus. So thank you, Bree, for bringing me on today.
Of course.
Hi, everybody. Apologize for joining the group late. My name's Lindsey Garber. I'm the Director of Residence Life. I handle a lot of the overall policy procedure, roommates, all that kind of stuff in the housing world. So a lot of communication you guys about completing your housing paperwork, that comes from myself, that comes from my assistant Leanne, as well as any questions and stuff regarding mail, packets, roommate packets, all that stuff comes out of my side of the department, as well as overseeing the overall department. So looking forward to talking with all of you guys today.
So do any of you have any questions for myself, Lindsey, or Bree regarding housing at Central Penn?
Brian, there's a couple questions that popped up in the chat. Do you want me to read them off to you guys?
Oh,
That'd be
please.
great.
Okay. We directed everybody to put their questions in there. So we had a lot of questions in the first session about the housing application and how to pick our roommates. I don't know if you guys want to add anything on that.
So roommates are assigned. Once you complete the housing application online, we will send you communication to your student email account to complete all of your housing paperwork. So your medical forms need to be completed, your lease needs to be completed, and your $250 security deposit needs to be paid. Once that's done, about a month out from the start of the term, we will mail out all of your roommate packets with your roommate assignments on them. Roommates aren't in the same sense of like if you have a dorm. Here at Central Penn College, you all have your own individual rooms, so you would be housed in a suite style housing unit. There's up to 7 students in those units. That includes 4 bathrooms, 2 vanity areas, and a common area. So you'll be receiving those as soon as we get them all together for the next term.
Okay. Sorry, my chat was acting up, so give me 1 second here. I'm scrolling down. It got sent all the way to the top. When will I get my bring or what to bring list so we know what we need for our dorms?
That actually gets sent out once we get the medical forms back. So that will be all in that housing packet. That form is also available on your student portal. If you go under the residence life and housing section on your student portal, you'll be able to see forms there, and that also has your what to bring list there.
Okay. What kind of comedians will be there? Can you recommend them?
Okay, so recently last year we had a comedian. His name was Kayvon. He's the only half Persian comedian in the world, and we're looking to have more events with him. Then we had Jose Sardoui. He came in the fall, and he came for and performed for the students. So we've had multiple comedians on campus. Adrian Thoman, who you all be seeing later, knows the full list of it. But since I was a student, those were the 2 main ones.
Okay. One is, I'm a transgender woman. How will housing be for me? How will I get assigned?
We would actually assign you based on what you identify as. So if you're transgender, you identify as male or female, we will place you in housing according to that.
Okay. And are pets allowed? Not talking about a dog, but maybe a hamster or a fish.
So currently in campus housing, we only allow fish in the residence halls. So if you want a betta fish, you can bring that in. If you want a goldfish, you can bring that in. Unfortunately, we do not allow hamsters or any small animals like that.
Okay, Lindsay, can we get mail to our dorm room once we are living there?
Yes, mail actually comes to the mail room. Leanne Hrivnak, our student services assistant, she will actually sort the mail. And then if it's something that's a letter size, that'll go down into your mailbox, which is located in the ATEC building right across from the cafeteria. If it's a package, you'll get a slip in your mailbox, and then you'll just come to the mail room and pick up your package.
For the bathroom, can we replace the shower curtain?
You can add on to the shower curtain, yes. So we have a base clear shower curtain that's there, and you can add your own decorative shower curtain outside of that.
How do we know when we have completed all of the housing requirements?
Leanne is actually currently going through all that has been submitted so far for the summer term, and she will be starting to send out confirmation notices next week to your student email, just letting you know. You should also have received email from DocuSign. If you had submitted the lease and everything, it would send you an automatic confirmation to that. And once we have all of the documents entered in the system, that'll also send you a confirmation. So you'll get a couple of them there from us. But as always, if you have any questions, just feel free to email us, residencelife@centralpenn.edu. We can always double check any of the paperwork that you've submitted and make sure that you're good to go.
Okay, Kelly, this one I think is more for you and Lindsay. But if we don't start our freshman year in housing and we have to do online school for the first year because of COVID, will we get free housing next year, or how is that going to work?
For students who are starting in the summer, you will get 4 terms of free housing regardless of when that is. So if we would have to go online for summer, then you would get next fall, winter, spring, and next summer. For those of you starting in fall, you would get 3 terms of free housing regardless of when it starts. So you will get however many terms you're entitled to. It might just be at a different time.
Okay, and when I have visitors come, can they bring their dogs for a short visit?
Dogs are not allowed to enter inside the residence halls, unfortunately.
We are an open campus, so if they come to visit you and you just want to go for a walk with them around campus, that is permitted, but they are not permitted in the residence halls or in the academic buildings.
Can we have a small TV in our rooms?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Are they allowed to have a microwave and refrigerator in their room?
Yes. Just something to keep in mind is that if you have a microwave and a refrigerator to put in your bedroom, just make sure it's not something super high power. The circuits for each individual plug-in only go up to about 1800 watts, I believe. So you just don't want to have something that's super overpowered because it could eventually blow the circuit, and that's not something that we want.
Okay, how do bathrooms work for transgender women?
Do you mean in the residence hall specifically, or like across campus in general?
It's not specific on here, so can you just do both?
Sure. So there's 4 bathrooms in a suite. So regardless, transgendered or not, you will have a bathroom assigned to you, and you may be sharing that with another resident in the unit. On campus, I do know that being part of the diversity committee, that if you're transgender, you will be able to utilize whatever restroom you identify with, as well as we have a, Bree, what's the term?
Gender neutral bathroom. It's on the
Thank you.
main floor
Yes.
of the ATEC lobby.
Yes, we do have one of those.
All right, thank you. One of the things, I don't know if Bree or Lindsay, you guys might want to, which one of you guys wants to take this, but can you maybe go over some of the highly suggested items to bring that they can start working on, and the ones that are strictly prohibited in the dorms?
Sure. So I strongly suggest getting like plastic storage containers, whether they're from Walmart or Target, those small little stackable rolly drawers. Those are really good for keeping snacks or any kind of extra clothing. In the suite, like in your bedroom, you have a desk, a chair, a closet, and a 3-drawered bureau. So depending on how much clothes that you bring, you might want to bring some extra storage for all those kinds of things. I suggest also bringing, personally in college, I did have a mini fridge and a microwave. It was just easier for me. So feel free to bring that if you'd like. Tide Pods or any kind of laundry detergent. Quarters for the laundry services. They are coin operated. So you do have to bring quarters in order to use the laundry services.
They're $1.50 to wash, $1.50 to dry.
Mm-hmm. Brian, you want to chime in?
I mean, one thing that I was always making sure, like snacks, like guys, like your granola bars, your quick things are huge, especially. Like Bree said, that whole storage where the three tiered compartment, those things are huge as well. A lot of it, I just try to make and save as much space as possible. So again, it's your learning environment. You want to be as comfortable as can be.
Yeah. And then as far as the things that are strictly prohibited from campus, can't have candles. That's fire hazard. No space heaters, no window AC units. We are a dry campus, so no drug or alcohol paraphernalia. No large exercise equipment, so don't bring any Bowflexes with you guys, please. We do have a weight room on campus that you're more than welcome to utilize.
Yeah, one popular thing, no bicycles.
Yeah, bikes cannot be stored inside your bedroom, unfortunately. However, if you have like a longboard or a skateboard, you can store it underneath your bed.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't bring a bicycle. We just can't have them stored in your room is all. You're allowed to ride bicycles through campus. We just would need to work on where to store them. They're not permitted in the residence halls.
I mean, obviously prohibited items, no weapons of any kind. That includes pocket knives and things like that. Can't have those on campus. And
How about candles, Bree?
no candles.
No candle.
No candles. Am I missing anything, guys?
Not that I know.
Those are big ticket items.
Somebody just asked, is a toaster oven allowed?
Yes.
A toaster oven is allowed. I would just suggest keeping it in the common area when you use it. If you use it in the bedroom, sometimes it has a tendency to overheat. So to avoid the fire alarm going off, you can store it in your bedroom, but just use it in the common area. Once it cools down, you can bring it back in your bedroom.
Somebody just asked about a lava lamp as well.
Nope, lava lamps are not allowed, unfortunately.
Okay. All right, I'm going to change it up a little bit. There might be some more later on, but this one's about parking. Can you park anywhere around Central Penn for those that drive a car?
So to register a vehicle at Central Penn, it is free. You just need to take your insurance information and registration to the public safety office. They will give you a parking permit. There are specific areas up by the suites that are for residential students to park. And there are also commuter areas around campus, around the academic buildings. There are several areas that are marked for faculty and staff. Those would not be available to park in, but they are clearly like the signage states that you're not able to. We do not run out of parking, so don't stress about the parking. There's plenty of parking around, and there's 3 individual lots right next to the suites, so you guys are going to be pretty close.
Another question on an item. Can we have wax warmers?
You can. Just, I would be very careful. Like, don't leave them running if you're not in the suite, because those do also have the tendency to overheat. It can set off a fire alarm. So if you're going to use it, don't run it too long and just make sure that you're home.
Okay. What size TVs are we allowed to have?
I mean,
we don't have regulations on size.
I'll say, well,
you're just going to want to make sure it fits in your room or in the common area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that you can get it in and out of the unit.
Yeah, definitely
And
that.
something to keep in mind when you're thinking of the size of your TV, the bigger the TV, the more heat it puts off. So if you're somebody who gets warm very quickly, maybe going something just a little bit smaller might be a little bit more beneficial for you in the bedroom.
Okay. How do guest visitors hours work?
So we only allow overnight guests on the weekends. So Friday beginning at 5 until Monday at 10 p.m. Guests are allowed to stay 2 consecutive nights in a row after they have registered with public safety. So prior to going into the residence halls, the student host and the guest have to go to public safety office. They fill out a form to register, give vehicle information and make sure that they don't get ticketed. And then after that, they're required to do an online form to provide emergency contact information. And then after those items are completed, they are allowed to go into the residence halls to stay overnight.
Okay. Are there drawers in the desk provided?
Yes.
Yes.
There is one long, like wide drawer on the top portion, and then on the side there are 3 separate drawers, and they vary in depth. So that way you can place different things. So
Yes.
one's really good for notebooks, one's really good for snacks. I'm the type of person that likes to snack while working on stuff. So my bottom drawer was always filled with some cookies and crackers and stuff. And then there's another drawer that's good to keep like extra notebooks, folders, school supplies, things like that.
Is there a limit of how often a guest is allowed to spend the weekends? I don't know if you covered that.
So guests are allowed to stay, like I said before, 2 nights consecutively. Throughout the term, you are only allowed to have 10 guest days. So if you have a guest over from Friday to Saturday, you use 2 guest days, Friday night, Saturday night. And then let's say the next weekend you have the guest over for Friday and Saturday night, then you're at 4. So 4 out of 10. So once you hit the 10 mark, then you are not allowed to have guests for the rest of the term. But if you are ever wondering about where you stand with your guest passes, I do send alerts out when you start using them quickly. So if you get up to 5 or 6, you usually receive an email from me just letting you know, hey, you've used this many guest days. Just make sure you keep track.
Great. Are we allowed to carry pepper spray through campus in our backpack?
So that's going to be a specific question for public safety. I don't think being across campus that it's an issue, but it would be considered a weapon of sorts if you had it in your house. So if you had it in your housing unit. So if you have it in your car or you used it only when you're walking across campus, typically that is fine.
Okay. What about wall plugins or incense? Can I have those?
You cannot have incense because that requires a flame. Wall plugins, you can. Just be careful, again, make sure you're unplugging them if you're not home for an extended period of time, because those also have the tendency to overheat.
Okay. Why no lava lamps? Just curious.
So a lava lamp usually takes a good couple of hours to fully warm up to get the flow of the halogen inside of the glass. So the longer that you keep it on, it becomes a fire hazard, and it actually has more likely than not the tendency to overheat the circuit, which could cause a wall fire.
Yes.
How does the heating and air conditioning work in the house?
This is our favorite topic. So all the units are kept on a central system, and it's set. They have a set window. I think it's 68 to 72, and it varies throughout the seasons. That's monitored and kept by maintenance, and so students are not able to adjust the temperature of their units. It's all kept like at a set window.
Okay. And can guests of the opposite sex stay overnight?
Yes.
As long as it's within the Friday 5 p.m. to Monday 10 p.m. and they get registered, yeah, go for it.
Okay, it looks like I am all caught up with the questions. I don't know if there's any more that anybody wants to add.
Just something, anytime you guys are having guests over, yes, we permit them, you're able to register them, but you also are gonna wanna have conversations with your housemates to make sure that they're also comfortable having guests. I know everybody's different, everybody comes from different backgrounds, so just make sure you're having those conversations, and when move-in happens and you guys have your RA meetings, make sure that's a part of the discussion, that you're talking, who's comfortable with guests, who has, study requirements, things like that. So set those boundaries early.
Okay. I have something to ask that we get a question a lot about what size sheets should they buy for the bed that is available for them, and like window coverings.
So the bed size is a twin extra long. So it'll usually say either TXL or twin XL for the sheets. The windows, you can do command hooks on the sides if you want, or you can get like a spring-loaded rod that can adjust to go onto the inside of the window pane. The dimensions are escaping me right now, but you are allowed to do that for window coverings.
Just be as careful as possible when you're working with it, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's a question that just popped up. Can you hang things up on the walls?
You can, but you just need to use command strips. No thumbtacks, no nails, nothing like that. Nothing that can actually puncture the wall. So command strips are our preferred method of wall hang.
Here's another question for you guys. What should you expect, or what should they expect on move-in day or housing orientation when they're moving in on campus?
They should just expect a lot of corny jokes from me. I'll make a lot of jokes. I'll try to make you guys laugh to make it easier for you guys. But move-in day and housing orientation, we try to make it as easygoing as possible. We don't want you guys to be stressed or your families to be stressed. So we are all there in a variety of areas to be able to answer questions or help direct you if you get locked out, if you don't know where to go for your ID. We usually will have water, like refreshments for you guys to make sure you guys are hydrated, especially if it's hot out. Housing orientation is a lot of fun information. We go over everything they need to know about campus housing, our regulations, the lease. So we'll go over all of that again once you get into campus.
You should definitely expect a lot of smiling faces, because we're very excited to have you on our campus. And again, just remember, we're here to help you all. We want to help you get. We're going to help you with all your academic success, and let us know if we can do anything to help out.
Okay, and
Some
Lindsay,
of you, hold on one sec, please. Some of you guys asking about measurements. We don't have that posted online, but I do have an email from facilities with the basic like bedroom measurement, the closets, how deep they are, and the windows. So I'm trying to get that put into the group chat. So I'll hopefully have that there for you momentarily.
okay, and do we have, or do they have a key card or a key or a card to get into the super suites in their room?
So it's going to be a little card, probably the size of even like a credit card or a gift card, and you're just going to swipe it, or not, scan it to your residence hall, and then you'll be issued a bedroom key.
Okay, and it looks like Lindsay just posted in the chat the different dimensions. So if you're looking for those measurements, and I believe we're going to post too on the website, like the what to bring list, so you guys can start gathering some things for when you do move into campus as well. Just got an email.
Well, also with the what to bring list, we do have a measurement sheet that will come in with it too. So we'll get that to you guys.
Okay. Any other questions for our residence life team? Anything else you guys have to add before we throw it over to support services?
No, we just wish you guys enjoy the rest of Virtual Closer Look, and we can't wait to meet you when you all get on campus. We're really looking forward to seeing all of you guys.
Yes, it'll be very exciting. And if any of you guys have questions throughout the time that you need answered, feel free to reach out to us. We do have a general email that goes to all of us. It's residencelife@centralpenn.edu. So always feel free to jump in there if you have any questions. Again, someone will respond to you pretty quickly.
We want to, again, thank you for spending time with us today. We're very excited to meet you all, and we hope you and your families are staying safe.
Oh, one last question, Linz. They want to know, do you have to get Netflix or cable for the TV?
So we don't provide cable, but we do have free Wi-Fi. So all of our students typically stream, whether it's Hulu, Netflix,
HBO
they
Go.
use Roku. Yeah, they use all those different types. You can have whatever accounts for those that you want to bring with you. We don't have a specific one that you have to use. Just that the rooms are cable ready, but we don't offer cable. That if you did want something like that, you would need to get it outside of Central Penn.
Okay, well, thank you guys.